Welcome back, band family. I'm going to teach you some brand new notes. I'm going to teach you three different notes, B, A, and G. Technically, I'm going to teach you four notes because I'm going to teach you two different kinds of that note B. If you're wondering right now, what's all this with the A and the B and the C, where are these names coming from? Hopefully you've already watched the week 2 class video. If you haven't, go ahead and pause this video, go watch the class video where I describe how we come up with the names of the notes, and then come on back to this spot at the video. The first note I'm going to teach you today is B. And to describe all of these notes, I'll use this fingering system. I'll talk about the thumb, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll also talk about left pinky and right pinky. I'll show you again. On my flute with my left hand, this is my left thumb. This is left 1, 2, 3. And then on my right hand, it's 4, 5, 6. And there's the right pinky. Some general principles. That right pinky is pretty much always down. It's designed in such a way that we can actually hold the instrument with our right hands with just the right thumb and the right pinky. Don't try this at home. I've done this before. You'll probably drop your instrument. And then on my left hand, I use the shelf to stabilize it. I can stabilize it further with my lip, but otherwise, lip, shelf, right thumb, and pinky is how we hold the instrument. Not a lot of contact points. I know, it could be a little bit wobbly at first. So then to play B, in addition to those contact points of shelf, right thumb, and right pinky, we're going to add our left thumb and our left first finger. So this is thumb 1. We're not going to add on 2, 3, or 4, 5, 6, just thumb 1. And that is going to be the note B. Let me grab Bandmate and we'll play it together. To set up Bandmate, first select flute from the top. I've actually already selected flute, but if you haven't, do that first. Then go to the right side of the screen and adjust the selector switch so that the top option is selected. That symbol there that looks like half of a heart with a line through it, that's called a flat symbol. We want to make sure we have flat selected. The bottom symbol there, the sharp symbol, looks like a hashtag. We don't want to have the sharp selected. We want to have the flat selected. Those are the only two options you need to set on Bandmate. Otherwise, it's good to go. To play a note, I'm going to put all my fingers down with the exception of my left pinky. We can leave that one off. I'm going to bring the instrument up into playing position. I'm then going to remove all the fingers except thumb 1, and then I'll play a note. That note should be B. Let's give it a shot. And there it says B. I got the correct note. Again, B is thumb 1. Now, if you look closely, though, it does actually say B flat. It says B plus that little symbol there, that pizza on a stick. That's because the note I played just now with my thumb over both these keys and the first finger there, thumb 1, is technically B flat. It's like the sibling of B. I'm going to teach you the other version of B, which is just B, right now. To play the other version of B, instead of having thumb 1 with my thumb on both of these keys, I'm going to have my thumb just on the bigger thumb key and not on the other one. And over here, I'll still have 1. So it'll still be thumb 1, but I need to use this thumb key instead of both. Okay? So B flat uses both thumbs. B uses just the bigger key. So there you see, once again, it says B, but that flat symbol is missing. It just says B, because when we play B with just the bigger thumb key, that's the note we get. If we have both, then we get its brother or its sister, B flat. Generally, for most notes, we're going to leave this year our thumb on both keys. And if you needed to play B, then you can move the thumb over, but otherwise, for now, think about your thumb being on both these keys right here. When I'm playing B, most of the sound is coming out of the very first hole, which is right there. And so really the instrument is only about that long. That is basically the note B. The more fingers I add, the farther along the air comes out. And basically the instrument is bigger. Think about it this way. If you had a 10-foot garden hose and you put a giant hole halfway down and all the water came out of that hole, how long is your garden hose? At that point, it's only 5 feet long, right? Because none of the water is going to the very end. The same thing is true of the flute. If all the sound and the air is coming out right here, this is how long the flute is. If all the air is coming out down here, because I have more fingers held down, then the flute is here. So by adding fingers, I'm making the flute bigger. The more fingers I add, the bigger it is. Another question for you. What instrument is bigger, a trumpet or a tuba? A tuba is bigger, right? And what instrument is lower? A tuba. So the bigger the instrument, the lower the sound. We can use that knowledge. If I'm playing B, but then I add a finger down, as if we're playing the How Low Can You Go, now the instrument is basically bigger because instead of the air coming out right here, it's coming out farther down. So I've made the instrument bigger. So what comes below or before B in the alphabet? Because we want to go lower, right? Well, A comes before B in the alphabet. So if this is B, this is A. It's one note lower. It's one note before B in the alphabet. So now we know how to play A as well. It's going to be thumb. Again, use both. Thumb, 1, 2. Let's try playing A together. And here you can see that we've produced an A. An A is thumb, 1, 2. As always, our right pinky is down for all these notes. The right pinky is basically a handle, remember, that's how we hold the instrument, thumb and right pinky. But on our left hands, the keys that are actually producing the sound, thumb, 1, 2, is going to be A. Double check to make sure that you have your fingers in the right spot. Skip, finger, finger, right? Since we're only using these two fingers, we don't actually have this one down at all, but that's where the fingers should go. I'm going to teach you one more note today. It's the note that's below A. So if we have B and we go one note down, it's A. We're going to go one note lower yet because we're making, again, the instrument bigger by adding more fingers. But wait a minute, what's below A? What's before A in the alphabet? Well, if it was the regular alphabet, it would be Z. But in this case, the musical alphabet, as we learned in this week's class video, only goes up to G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So the end of the musical alphabet is G. So before A comes G. So we have B, A, and G. Let's try playing a G together. Thumb, remember it's both of these keys. 1, 2, 3. As always, our right pinky is here, and the other fingers are going to be close to the keys, just not actually touching. Let's give it a shot. So here I got a G because I had down thumb, 1, 2, 3, as well as the right pinky. And don't forget, for all these notes, we're using both of those thumb keys. Unless I tell you otherwise, just assume that the thumb presses down on both. So now you know 3 different notes. You know B, A, and G. And technically, since our thumb is going to be on both of those keys, we know B flat, A, G. You also know a 4th note. If I were to switch this over, I could actually get just a regular B instead of B flat. One thing I want to point out today is that you also might have gotten higher versions of these notes. If you were to make the mouth opening even smaller and or direct your air up higher, you might get a high B, a high A, or a high G. For example, the high G would look like this. And so I use the same fingering there. It's still thumb, 1, 2, 3, right pinky, but I just changed the way I was producing the air and I got high notes. If all of your notes are coming out high, that's just fine. Don't worry about it. You're getting the high B, A, and G. But if you got the low B, A, and G, that's also fine too. See this week if you can remember how to play B, A, and G every day. And remember that we're actually playing B flat, so B flat, A, and G. For all these notes, hold them as long and steady as you can. See how many seconds you can hold each of those notes for. In addition, make sure you're also working at head joint blowing every day, the grab and go exercise, the note that comes out when we play all the fingers down, as well as how low can you go. A lot to work on this week. Play every day. Until next time, go practice.